Woke up this morning with the crossroads on my mind. Take a walk with me and everything will be just fine. Well, I woke up this morning with the 8 bomb on my mind. Oh yeah, take a walk with me and everything will be just fine. Well, I woke up this morning with that cocaine on my mind. Oh yeah, take a walk with me and everything will be just fine. Alright, come on now, ride that train. Hello, my name is Kurt and I have been drinking café con leche. I just finished it up right now. And today I will be talking about how I became a witch. Ooh, scary. Witch. He's a witch. Now, before I get into semantics here, before I get into labels, before I get into all that stuff, I just want to say that I do not believe in labeling yourself. I do not believe in labels themselves. Labels to me are something that humans made to sort of categorize each other, separate each other, and classify themselves in different ways. It's just basically a way of humans sort of separating into groups, you know? And like I said, I believe that we are all humans. We are all who we are. We don't need labels, you know. We are our own specific person. Labels are something that other people place upon us. And a lot of people do place labels upon themselves too. Like I said, I don't believe that labels are necessary. So, now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about what witch really means. Now, if you look up the definition of witch, if you look up the history of witch, a witch was basically a wise woman or a wise man. That's all it meant. It didn't mean sort of sorcerer or sorceress. Same thing with warlock. Warlock meant oathbreaker. It didn't mean evil black magician sorcerer. Now, here's the difference between witch and warlock to me personally. See, a warlock is an oathbreaker. Or, you know, that's how they classify them. Like, I don't mind. Like, I could call myself warlock, whatever. It's not a derogatory term. Like, a lot of people think warlock is a derogatory term, but I don't think that's actually true. But anyway, an oathbreaker would be somebody who kind of went into a coven of witches, usually a male, and he learned all these things from these witchy women, and then he kind of broke the oath of secrecy to keep things silent, because that's one of the rules of the witches, to keep silent. You do not share this wisdom with regular people because it could get you persecuted, it could get you in trouble, blah, 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 especially back in the day. So a warlock was somebody that said, screw it, I don't care about your rules, whatever, and he just went on his own rampage, whatever, using the wisdom to his advantage, or even teaching other people, whatever, and then this is why it was considered a derogatory term. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into my personal story of how I would consider myself a witch. Now, I do have I do have witchy essence in my bloodline. I do have witch blood flowing through my veins. As I traced back my family history, or even when I heard stories being told to me about certain members of my family, you know, there were tarot readers, there were some like witchy females here and there, and like even this current generation, like in my family, we have sort of religious practitioners, psychics, and stuff like that. And so it was kind of something that, like, a lot of people say, oh, you can only be a witch if you're born into it. I do not necessarily believe that. There are different ways of going about it. Now, let me talk to you guys about my personal experience. See, as a kid, I was always sort of this strange person. I never got along with a lot of people. I was always a loner. I always had a deep fascination with plants and stuff. And as a kid, um, the things that I would do for fun would be pretty much collect a whole bunch of berries from various different trees and stuff that I found growing around the place, mash them up in a container, add some water, and add like dirt and all this other crap that I could find, and I would pretty much be making potions as a little kid. You know, I wasn't like a regular kid that just drew stuff, or like freaking, like, I don't know, watch. I did watch cartoons and stuff like that. Obviously, I was a normal kid, but my forms of entertainment were kind of strange. So I would make these potions with these various berries and stuff, and they probably were poisonous berries now that I think about it. And instinctually, I would just mix all this stuff up, whatever, and I would pour it all over the ant hills, like in my backyard or wherever. And then I would see that all the ants would die, and then I would be like, oh yes, I poisoned them with my magical potion, poison, whatever. When in reality, it probably wasn't so much the poisonous effects of the mixture. It was pretty much that the ants were kind of drowning in the water that I mixed with all these berries and stuff. So yeah, I would do stuff like that. I would try to actually. I did elemental stuff as a kid too. Like I would find this freaking branch, or I didn't even use branches. Like I found a broom handle or something, and I would have these little glass like orbs. I had one that was red, one that was green, and one that was blue. And I felt like they were just basic, like, I don't know, like some type of decorations. They weren't really even toys. And what I would do is I would take the red one and tape it to like one broom handle or whatever, and I would consider that the staff or the wand of fire, right? And I would like try to do all these things. And I would imagine, excuse me, I would imagine myself as like, shooting flames and all this stuff, and it was a great form of entertainment to me. And then I would put the water, I would put the blue one on there, and I would like, now it's an ice staff, or it's a water staff, and I put the green one, now, I would pretend like that I could raise the earth and the ground and all this stuff. And those are my forms of entertainment. This was kind of, I think, way before Harry Potter existed. This was way before all that stuff. It was just sort of something that I was naturally drawn to, like for as long as I can remember. And this is another confirmation of how I was kind of born into this, is because I always had a deep fascination with plants. Like I said, I would make various potions, poisons, whatever. But then, like, further on, I would like mess around with plants. Like I would find lavender, and I would like sort of communicate with it, and I would, ingest it, and I would be learning about plants from a very young age already. Now, think about it. What did witches do? They were master herbalists. They knew about all these different herbs that could do all these things. They did not only know the healing properties of herbs and physical properties of herbs, but they also knew the metaphysical properties of herbs. And as a child, I was kind of like becoming a herbalist, or like I was born into herbalism. You know what I mean? Like this is where I get all my herbalist knowledge. Like this is where I understand all these things, because I had a connection with these plants for a long time already. And then as I got older, I picked up all these different books on witchcraft and this and that, shamanism, and I'm like, oh wow, people actually did this, actually communicate with plants and all that stuff. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool, but I've been doing it naturally for a long time already. So there's the herbalist aspect of a witch, and then the magical aspect. It's like I've been casting spells for as long as I could remember. I've been always like sort of like praying or creating sort of like these mini rituals to like sort of bring me things. And like I said in my previous story, on my other video, the one that I talk about evil and stuff, it's like I kind of realized this hidden talent that I could actually affect things in the physical nature if I got really pissed off or whatever. And it was pretty interesting and pretty shocking as a kid, and it is shocking even till today. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to fit into society if you're such an outcast, sort of? And this gets sort of into the other witchy aspect. Witches were known to be loners. They would hide in their hut in the middle of a forest and do their own things, and like people would be afraid of them. People would run away from them, which is completely stupid, because not all witches are evil. There's witches that are very wise. They could heal you. They could help you. Sure, this goes both ways. If you know magic, you could use it whichever way you want. I do not believe in classification of black magic, white magic. It's a general essence, a general energy, and you, as a practitioner, determine what you want to do with that. So, like I don't know how you could be considered a black magician if one day you hex somebody, but then the other day you heal somebody. You're using both sides of a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's very all these semantics and all these labels are so ridiculous to me. So yeah, I would just notice these things, and then like, you know, I think the biggest breakthrough was when I was around 14 years old or so. I would start researching things. I always had an interest in the cult, like just always was driven towards it. And then in high school, whatever, I would read about, Wicca and all these spells and stuff. And I tried them, and they didn't necessarily work because I was following what the book was saying. I wasn't. See, this is stupid. See, because I had the true nature of a witch inside myself, and I was suppressing that because I was following what these books said. I wasn't using my own force that I kind of knew how to use already. I was trying to like do all these different techniques and all this stuff, and it just didn't work. This is why I feel that if you're a witch, if you're a natural witch, this just comes to you. You don't need books. You don't need anything. It's just knowledge you learn through experience, through life, and all this stuff. And at 14, I started meditating, started doing all this stuff. Not necessarily being like super witchy, but I was in a Catholic school, and I kind of disagreed with the whole ideology of Catholicism, Christianity. I didn't like religion in general. Like, religion to me was a waste of time, and I had to sit in religion class. I'm like, fuck, like this is kind of boring. And I remember like drawing like freaking pentagrams and stuff like that on my stuff. And this is another thing I want to get into. It's like everybody says, oh, like that's possession, that's evil, whatever. Like, what if somebody's born into this? This is what I don't understand about any religious beliefs. It's like, what if you're born to be like a serial killer, or born gay, or born whatever? This is sort of like a mental thing. You're born gay. You don't kind of turn gay. It's a deep thing within you. Like, sooner or later, even if you were straight your whole life, and then all of a sudden you notice that you always had an attraction to men at like freaking 40, when you're like 40 years old, like that still means you had some like kind of gay like tendencies inside you. And these religions criticize that. Like let's look at Charles Manson. Like, if you get into astrology and stuff like that, it's like, look at all his astrological placements too. It's like he was kind of meant to be an evil son of a bitch. Like, he was Scorpio. Like, he had like fucking Sun in Scorpio, Moon in Scorpio, I think Venus in Scorpio. Like, he had all this Scorpio energy within him. So that's natural. Like, even if you don't believe in astrology, even if you don't research astrology, even if you're like a pure fundamentalist Christian, you still have those energies within you. Like, you could be a Christian and you could be a fucking Scorpio without even knowing it, without even paying attention to your zodiac, and you will act out on these sort of things. You will become like, even you will become a fanatical Christian, but from a different side. You know what I mean? Like, astrology shows you all these tendencies and all that stuff. So you're born, you like everything aligns the at the moment of your birth to kind of determine your life path. And like, this is why to me it's ridiculous. Why would a god, for example, if a god existed, why the fuck would he judge you if he kind of brought you into this existence on that specific time, on that specific day, and he gave you those tendencies? You're gonna tell me the second you pop out of the womb, like some kind of demonic thing, or even before you know anything about fucking existence, before you could talk, walk, speak, whatever, you're telling me that like like the child is unchristian, whatever. Like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, the child has natural tendencies towards being, for example, a witchy person or a homosexual or whatever. Then it doesn't make sense why, for example, God would punish you, or why you would go to hell if you were kind of born this way. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna get into fucking demons and all this shit, because there's baptism and there's all this shit that Christians do or Catholics do to protect their children, but their children turn out to be the biggest sons of a bitches ever. Look at that dude, Swaggart or something, Jimmy Swaggart or whatever the hell his name was. He was like this Christian televangelist, and he was like a gay fetishist that raped freaking men and had all these perverted fetishes and all this shit. And it's like, okay, like, that's just how he was born. He was a fucking televangelist. Like, all the Christians followed him and believed he was a man of God, yet he raped people behind closed doors. You know what I mean? So like, how holy is all this shit? You know? To me, it's ridiculous. That's why I don't believe in semantics and labels and all this bullshit. Like, it's just ridiculous. You are who you are. That's it. I do not believe if a God existed, he made us this way. That's it. This is our path in life. You know, we could obviously choose our own destiny. We could always do things our own way because we have sort of free will. But I believe it's all for a reason. This is why I sort of do not like want to worship any gods or anything either, because I do not want to worship any tyrannical beings. I do not see this world as a beautiful place. I do not see this world. I see suffering everywhere I go. I see rape. I see murder. I see all the evil things in life. And I cannot sit back and just say, oh yeah, everything's jolly. Everything's happy. Peace on earth. God bless. You know, oh, you know, all this shit. Go to church. You know, you see freaking all the times I went to Christian churches or Catholic churches, whatever, the people that would be there would be talking shit behind each other's backs. Like they would be like, oh, look at the way he's dressed, or oh, he, like, look at this, that, or they would be hitting on each other. I ain't gonna lie, I went to church before to get fucking females. Like, they're so easy, dude. Like, seriously, like, you tell them, oh yeah, you know, God, and then like, let's do a little Bible study, and then the next thing you know, they're spreading their legs, and you're banging them, and you're fucking blasting all over their crucifix that they have around their neck, and they're like, yes, give me more, daddy, give me more. Like, you know, this is true evil to me. This is the sort of fake things. It's like they go to church, they pray to God, they kneel, they do all this shit, but behind closed doors, they want you to ravage them and do the most evilest sexual acts ever. You know, the kinkiest and freakiest women that were ever drawn to me were Christian or Catholic women. You know, I always thought, hey man, like like Satanist chicks like look pretty freaky, but you know, they show it, so they don't have to suppress it. Whereas all these church-going people or holy folks, they try to suppress it. Then when it finally comes out, they're like fucking sexual beasts. You know, one of my girlfriends was sort of a Catholic slash Christian type of person, and this is how I know, because she would always be like, "Oh, I want to wait for marriage until sex." I'm like, all right, whatever. I found that admirable. I'm like, oh wow, you know, a person in today's society that wants to, you know, do this the right way and all this shit. What happened? Next week, she's spreading her legs for me and telling me like all this shit. She's like fucking stick it up my ass and all this stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like that caught me off guard. I'm like, being a Venus and Scorpio, like I have very strange fetishes, and she kind of tuned into those fetishes quite well. But that's another story. Anyway, so yeah, there's one example from personal experience, but I've seen this all the time. Like, there's so many hypocrites. So, as I grew into this, as I developed and everything, I just didn't see any reason of hiding it. It's like, I am who I am. This is just who I am. Like, even my astrological placements could tell you, like, oh, Venus and Scorpio. That already means I'm in love with sort of the dark side, the occult, the unexplained metaphysical nature. Then you have Sagittarius, that is higher learning, higher intelligence, philosophy, whatever. Combine those two, and you have a hell of a mix. You know, it's like higher knowledge and a lust and thirst for knowledge. But then the Venus and Scorpio aspect is like a thirst for the dark side and for the metaphysics and the occult. So it's like I am sort of like a mad genius researching all these things and putting them into play and all this stuff, you know. And then you have the Taurus nature and all this stuff. It's very interesting when you look at it, you know. So yeah, you know, like it's a beautiful thing to me is to acknowledge your true nature. If you're young and you're watching this, and you always knew you were weird, and you always knew you had kind of weird tendencies. You had maybe precognitive dreams or prophetic dreams, or you're into lucid dreaming. You're into all this stuff. That's another thing I want to get into. Guess what all that stuff is? Lucid dreaming is hidden knowledge. Why do you think so many people want to see that? Why do you think Reese Jones has hundreds and thousands of views on his video, and Giz Edwards or whatever his name is, and me, you know, my one lucid dreaming video is the most popular video I have, because people crave this knowledge, you know, and they want to know how to lucid dream, but it's a hidden thing. This is the tool These are the tools of a witch. Witches would lucid dream a long time ago, and they would dream walk, go into other people's dreams, and influence them on in their dreams on a physical level, and all this stuff. There's ways, to show up in other people's dreams and sort of make them feel love or whatever, and it's like it just happens naturally. Like, to me, I feel that happens naturally. Like when I go to sleep, I feel that I sort of go into other people's dreams, that like objects of mine, not objects, but like just I feel that I enter the person's dreams that I am into, like my true soulmate, my true love. Like, not a lot of people dream of me. I've been on YouTube for so long, I talk all this stuff for so long, and like only a couple people said they dream of me, And yeah, so it's like lucid dreaming is occult knowledge. Um, Lucid dreaming, sort of psychology, astrology, obviously, and astrology is a very fascinating thing. That's another tool of a witch. A witch has so many tools. You follow the ways of the planets, you follow the planetary hours, you do all this stuff. This shit came naturally to me. It's just who I was, and I share this information, but like obviously I can't share everything with a massive audience, because in order to be a witch you have to keep silent, because like I said, if you let out certain information, whatever, it could cause a lot of chaos. It could cause a lot of problems. So you only do that to initiated people, or people who you think have the potential of becoming awakened people. You see? This is why I attract all these people into my life. This is why I gravitate towards all these people in my life. Two of my girlfriends were witches, like straight up. Like, one of them was like a beginning practitioner, what I would consider sort of like a white witch. And I'm always drawn to these type of females anyway, because it's something mutual. It's like, I'm not drawn to regular physical, like, females. Like, they need to be sort of, I need to feel that energetic vibe. Being a witch, you feel all this stuff. You feel energies, you feel emotions and all this stuff, and it's really hard to deal with sometimes, especially now in today's society. It's like, how are you supposed to deal with it? Like, like, you're ridiculed and all this stuff, but it's like, people say, oh, if you're a witch, if you're a magician, why can't you do this, or why can't you make that person disappear? It's like, you really need to get under my skin for me to do something like that. I do not believe in just straight up vengeance. If you piss me off enough, sure, I'll place a hex on a person, and they will, you know, one way or another, go through something. I don't believe in vengeful hexes that cause a lot of problems, but just something to remind them who they're messing with, you know what I mean? It is possible. I can't, like, snap my fingers and have freaking $1 million. No, it takes longer than that. But, I've been doing these things. I've been doing stupid ass videos on YouTube, like ghetto magic, dancing around, prancing around to rap music, and guess what? It worked. The results, I will probably make a separate video on that. The results are pretty fascinating. From a stupid ass video like that, it worked. It manifested money, like more than I would ever make normally. More than I would get in bonuses and anything. It was like a large sum of money that came pretty much out of nowhere. This is pretty interesting. So that's why I love, like, women and stuff that are into. Oh yeah, let me get back into my witchy girlfriends. Like, one was a white witch, and one was like sort of a psychotic, drug fiend, dark witch. Like, she was just completely crazy. Her psychosis kind of fueled her just remorseless things, and like, I don't want to get into that. I tried to help her, I'm like, dude, you gotta get off of this, all these fucking things, and you gotta make your life in order. Like, you could still be a witch. Excuse me. You could still be a witch, but you don't have to be fucking crazy. Like, there's a certain type of, there's a certain type of mindset that you have naturally as a witch. You perceive things differently, you feel things differently, and it's hard for you to blend into society. So that kind of maybe makes you appear as psychotic, or maybe like whatever. But it's, like I said, witch means wise woman or wise man. These people are people with extensive knowledge, you know. This is why people say, like always on my videos, like, dude, you're a genius, you're an old soul, you're this and that. Like, they just say that, and then it flatters me. It really does, you know. I'm like, wow, you know, all these people are like really, how should I say, fascinated by my knowledge since I am so young and all this stuff. And but this is just my life path. This is just who I am. Like I said, this is why I make these videos, because this is my calling, you know, to experience all these things on my own and share it with a greater group of people, so they don't have to go through it themselves, or if they're going through it themselves already, they know what it is. Because I was so lost, man. When I was young, I didn't know what the fuck was going on with me. You know, I didn't know what the hell to do. You know, I would read all these, you know, I read the Bible numerous times. I read all these different books. I read Buddhist philosophies and all that. I couldn't find what I was. I couldn't really figure it out. You know, I started reading witchy books and stuff, you know, evoking, banishing, stuff like that, meditation, herbs, and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I already meditated a long time already. You know, all this, I already was into herbs a long time already. So it's like, wow, you know, this is pretty interesting. So yeah, this is sort of what I need to kind of do, is to show people that you are not, like, I'm not gonna say that everybody that considers themselves a witch is actually a witch. There are some people that are just deranged, psychotic people. Like if you look at Richard Ramirez, the dude that like slaughtered people in the name of Satan, like in the 70s or whatever. Like he was just completely psychotic. Like he had nothing to do with witchcraft, nothing to do with being a magical practitioner. This is another thing I want to get into. A lot of psychotic people, they say they're serving Satan, or they are all these things, but they're really not. You feel it as a real witch. You have this kind of pulsating in your blood, like you attract other real witches to you, and you could feel, like if I look at a person, like let's say Stevie Nicks, right, the singer, the female vocalist for Fleetwood Mac. She is a Gemini. I don't know if she has any Scorpio aspects or whatever, but technically, like her astrological chart doesn't really show that she would be a witchy female, but it's something you feel, you know. When I look at her, I get goosebumps, man. Like I look at pictures of her, and it's not just the way she dresses. It's not, she could dress in whatever the hell she wants. It's a look in the eyes. It's sort of like this mysterious feeling I get. Like like kind of luring you in and whatever. It's not necessarily luring you in, but it's like the feeling of a true witch, you know. And you know, you look at another Gemini, like you look at Lana Del Rey. She's a Gemini. She doesn't really give off a witchy type of feel. She doesn't. To me, she has an emotional thing going on, but she doesn't give off that witchy vibe. You know, she's not a witch. You get what I mean? No matter what people believe about her, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, all these people are part of the Illuminati." It's fucking complete bullshit. Anyway, if you're out there, you're confused, you're getting into astrology, you're just beginning your journey, and you're wondering why you're so weird, and all this stuff, and why you were always called to this, and as a kid you would see things and feel things, and you weren't like all the other kids. This may be one of the reasons why. Look into it. Embrace your true self. If you're drawn to astrology research, it's the same thing with anything. You're drawn to Christianity, go for it. You're drawn to Buddhism, go for it. You're drawn to Catholic religions, go for it. You're drawn to freaking, you know, Indian Hare Krishna, whatever, go for it. Go for what resonates with you, because we are each specific individuals. So yeah, if you're like, I personally believe that everybody should sort of research psychology and sort of all these metaphysical things, because they let you know a lot more about people. Like I said, it's a tool of a witch. If you know astrology and you get somebody's birth chart, you already know everything about them before you even talk to them, before you even meet them, whatever. It's really weird, and you could use that to your advantage, however way you see fit. And this is why I like girls that are into astrology, because I see them, you know, taking advantage of it, of the astrological placements and the moon phases and the charts and everything. They sort of flirt with me, you know. They're like, oh, he's a Sagittarius, so I'm gonna talk about philosophy to him and all this stuff, and Like, they see, these are, I love people like this because, like I said, they go the extra mile, you know. They're not just a regular girl that, like, just hits on me, and then, a week later she's sending me fucking pictures of her titties and saying, oh, Poppy, I want to fuck you and all this shit. Like, to me, that's filth. Whereas you have this, like, shy, female that's working behind the lines, like, oh yeah, like, really getting into it, deciphering things on a psychological level, astrological level, and I really want sort of a girlfriend. And it's funny because I started getting into astrology. Like, I was into always into the planets, and then the moon phases and all that stuff, and sort of the zodiac, but not like a lot. But recently, I started getting into astrology, like a couple months ago or whatever, and it truly resonated with me, and it really opened up a lot of different avenues, and it explained to me why I was feeling so weird and what I was going through and everything. See, you kind of are drawn. That's another thing about being a witch. It's like you're drawn to these things automatically. You're like, you could walk in a store and you could see a cup sitting on the fucking shelf, and you'll be like, there's something about that cup. I need that cup. I want that cup, right? You go and you buy that cup, and then you just throw it somewhere. You're like, oh, what a fucking waste of money, whatever. And then, sooner or later, that cup may be something significant in your life. It may involve some kind of ritual. It may involve, somebody comes to your house, they see that cup, and then they're like, wow, this is a really nice cup. And then you have a conversation about it, and it sparks deeper spiritual things. You see how all these things work? Like, it's not just one thing. It's like you're always radiating and resonating with this. It's like you pick all this stuff out automatically. It's like one day I'm like, oh shit, I gotta look up astrology, and that's what happened. And it's all this knowledge and all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. And then guess what? Freaking, I cast sort of a spell to attract love, and then astrology comes up again. That's enough. I've been ranting too long. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably make a part 2. And have a great day. Hope this video helped you out.